page numbers in the machzor, so if you so choose, you can bookmark the pages in advance. Please do not write in the TRM machzorim if you're borrowing one. There will also be davening guidelines for people who, for health reasons, decided to daven in their homes. Obviously, everyone who attends will be required to have masks covering their mouth and nose. I know that we have all experienced times where masks slip, so I ask that everyone try to be conscious of this to ensure everyone's health and well-being. There will be bathrooms available with an attendant cleaning throughout services. Please wait outside the bathroom so there's only one person inside at a time. We are grateful that we do not have anyone in the community right now we know of who is currently tested positive or has been exposed to someone who is currently COVID-19 positive and subject to quarantine guidelines. And we of course hope that remains the case. Based on current guidelines, if anyone should test positive or lives in the same household with someone who has tested positive, we ask that the entire household of the affected person not attend shul. For those who are not coming to daven at either minyan, but would like to hear shofar blowing, we will have an afternoon shofar blowing on Sunday in the TRM parking lot 90 minutes before mincha. As you know, seating registration closed on Tuesday night, so our seating committee has a Herculean task ahead. I cannot thank the dedicated group working on this enough. It is usually a stressful job, but even more so this year. When the seating committee is done, we will send out a diagram of seats to everyone next week. Please review it to orient yourself in order to minimize confusion entering the tent. I know we wrote in our letter that we cannot take seat requests, as seating this year is a bit like playing three-dimensional chess and is remarkably complex. So please, if you're not thrilled with your seat, we promise to try and do better next year when things return to normal. With respect to Yom Kippur, we have not finalized detailed plans yet. However, I can say that we will be holding davening both in the tent and inside TRM, since we do not want to do 2 consecutive minyanim as we're doing for Rosh Hashana. Many said that they would be willing to daven inside, but we will still need some additional volunteers to go inside. It will save the seating committee a great deal of time and effort if you can email seating@theriverdaleminyan.org if you can go indoors. Otherwise, they will contact people in order to achieve this goal. The exact details will be worked out over the next week and we'll communicate the plan via email. I understand that this is a bit anxiety-provoking not to have all the answers tonight, but we are literally working every day to ensure that we can daven in a safe manner. Please understand that all of what we are doing right now is holding davening in a brand new way, and we have no time-tested playbook to fall back on, so we're asking for your patience. I'm going to ask Rabbi Wald to talk about the davening program, and then thereafter, if anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer them. Thank you. Rabbi Wald.
Okay. Sandy, you touched on most of what I think I wanted to say. I'll just be very brief. This is very painful for me to say, but on behalf of the Rabbinic Committee, I know that everyone knows this, but I just feel like as a responsibility to say this on behalf of Isaac and Jeff and myself. If in any way you are immunocompromised or in any way concerned about your health, then you need to stay home and you need to take care of yourself. That is the greater religious obligation here. And if you have any questions, please reach out to one of us. As Sandy said, we are sending out page numbers. We're going to abridge the tefillah. This is what is common practice in all the shuls that they're doing in order to ensure a halachically appropriate and safe and meaningful davening. So as Sandy said, again, we're going to be sending out the page numbers that some of the rabbinic committee worked on. You're going to be able to mark your machzor before you come to shul if you would like to, but we will be announcing the page numbers in shul, and you can, if you have any questions about what was selected, then I guess ask Isaac. No, I'm just kidding, Isaac, I'm sorry. We will be sending out guidelines for people who need to be davening at home as well. That was worked on seriously as well, so there'll be some good notes in that. And the 7 a.m. Minyan, this is important, if need be, will conclude the last 40 kolot in the parking lot outside of the tent, weather permitting, in order to allow for a very smooth and safe transition between the minyanim. 60 kolot is completely halachically safe, viable, and allowed, and that is you'll fulfill your obligation. We will try to do the 40 and aim for 100 in that minyan if time allows it and weather permitting. Again, as Sandy said, there will be a communal shofar blowing about 90 minutes before mincha. That time will be listed when we send out the zmanim, so please be on the lookout if that is applicable to you. Very important note, a flyer went out that Slichot will be starting this Motzei Shabbos at 10 p.m. in the TRM parking lot and on Zoom. Halachic note that if you are on Zoom and you cannot make it, and there is a minyan present that is gathered together, that is saying the Yud Gimel Midot and Hashem's name, you can say it at home by yourself with the minyan. There will be a very special pre-Slichot shir by our very own Michelle Greenberg Coburn at 9. It's lovely to learn together at this time of year. We all know and love Michelle, and she will bring us words of inspiration. So I encourage everyone to attend, to put us in the right mind frame and headspace. And again, if you have any questions halachically related, please feel free to reach out to Isaac, Jeff, or me. On behalf of the board, the Rabbinic Committee, I'm wishing all of you a sweet and a happy and obviously a healthy new year.
Thank you, Josh. All right. Can we get the questions?
One question is, which machzor will we be using?
We have, the shul has Koren Machzorim, and so the page numbers will refer to that, but it will also have the name of the tefillah.
Okay, right, because someone wrote here that they use an art scroll, so can we make sure that the content is included in that so that people can...
It is included in what we will be emailing out next week.
Great. Do we need volunteers to help with setup and cleanup of the tent shul?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Will there be Birchat Kohanim?
Yes.
Do you want to explain a little bit, Sandy, what the plan is for that?
Sure.
I know you put a lot of thought into that too.
So the Kohanim are going to sit in the front of the shul so that they can exit the tent and then turn around and face the congregation. There will be no liyum washing hands. The Kohanim will have a bottle of water and they'll be washing their own hands. So it will be a touchless Birkat Kohanim. Any other questions?
Okay. Are there any restrictions about congregational singing?
Yeah, so there will be limited congregational singing. People will be wearing their masks, and we're going to ask that people sing along in a very quiet way. So no no loud singing from anyone.
For Yom Kippur inside, is there additional ventilation planned?
The Riverdale Temple has hired specialists to review all the ventilation and have cleaned all our vents and put in additional filters on our air conditioners. But there isn't any new equipment going in, if that's the question.
Is there any way that Yom Kippur can be staggered?
Maybe, but the difficulty we certainly tossed that idea around quite a bit. The difficulty is asking people to come to shul very early on a fast day, and so we, at this point, decided that that wasn't the route we were going to go. In order to do that, you know, on Rosh Hashana, we ask people to come early, it's one thing, but to get people in shul by 6:45 or 7 on a fast day just seemed like a big push.
Sandy, just to go back to Yom Kippur inside, would we have like the windows or the doors open? That was my understanding to like.
Yeah, so certainly, yes. So certainly behind the shul, behind the accordion doors, there are some windows, so we can certainly open those, and we can certainly have the doors, the door that we come in open. We are going to have security guards. We actually hired 3 security guards. It's actually something I realized I didn't mention. There'll be 1 security guard where the cars exit, and 2 security guards at the top of the hill where we would normally come down the driveway to walk in. Given that setup, I think we could leave that door open as well.
Great. Is there air conditioning in the tent?
No.
Okay, but for those of you who are concerned, the weather app currently says now it will only be about 71 degrees on Shabbos. They haven't revealed Sunday yet. Will shofar still happen in inclement weather? Will minyan?
Minyan is going to happen no matter what. I understand that it would not be the most pleasant if it was raining, but we're not planning to cancel it, and that's why we put up the tent. It's basically a roof over us with a small side panel, but that's I think 8 feet off the ground. So it will not protect us if there is a driving rain, but if there's a drizzle or even just a normal rainfall, it should protect us, and shofar will still happen. Any other questions?
Oh, sorry. And one other thing, we are looking for volunteers to help deliver Rosh Hashana platters to members. We have a small gift for everybody. So if anybody can help, let us know as well. Oh, and one other thing we want to share, we're also working on as part of the shofar blowing that will take place on Sunday afternoon, that there will be a special program also for families with small children who were not able to, whether they were able to attend minyan or not, but if you wanted to be able to bring your children to something socially distant and be able to hear the shofar, since they would not be able to be in shul. Okay. Other comments? A tremendous hakarat hatov to the board and rabbinic team. Thank you. How will afternoon chauffeur work? Tent or outside?
So I think the idea would be for people, well, kind of weather dependent. It can be either in the parking lot. It's only, I think, Josh can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's only 30 kolot. So it's not a very long process. It can be inside the tent or outside the tent. People can sort of congregate as they see fit. But I would assume the person blowing the shofar will be outside the tent.
Okay. Is any parking available in the parking lot over Yom Tov?
I will have to check with the Riverdale Temple, but I don't know at this point. I think we should assume not, but we can certainly ask the question.
Yeah, and if somebody has an issue about getting to shul that first night or somehow needs a ride, just reach out to me or Sandy and we can see what we can do to help. Okay. What is the bathroom protocol? If you could review that one more time.
Sure. We're going to have a bathroom attendant for both minyanim, 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. She will be there to clean the bathrooms constantly. We're asking only one person in the bathroom at a time. And if you have to wait online there, please do it socially distanced 6 feet apart.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, I think one question, Sandy, can people leave on their chairs, talus bags, their own machzors?
No. Sorry. Because we're doing 2 minyanim, people who are there for the 7 a.m. minyan need to take everything back with them. The chairs are all going to get wiped down with Clorox wipes and to allow for the 10 o'clock minyan to come in. And then after the 10 o'clock minyan, it's going to get cleaned again and prepared for the Mincha Mara crowd, as well as then the following morning for the 7 a.m. on the second day. So please do not leave anything on your chairs. One other thing, Mincha Marav will not have assigned seating. It's not that many people. We won't be expecting as many people as we would have for the 7 or 10 a.m. Morning minyan, but we are asking, the seats are being placed precisely. They cannot be moved because we have to follow the seating plan. There are some seats that are grouped together for family units and some seats that are singles. So please find a seat and just stay there when you come from Mincha Marav. Don't move a chair to sit near someone. Just pick a seat, sit in it. Don't move the chair. We would really, really be grateful.
Yeah. A question for those Mincha and Maravs, we are going to have a sign up, correct?
Yeah, we are going to have a sign up, but there's no assigned seating as there is for the morning.
Okay. Are there going to be aliyot for Kriyas HaTorah?
I think it's the same, it's all one person.
Correct. I think that's the way we're going right now.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, I don't see, Friday night. What, I'm not sure I understand about Friday. Yes, for the night, for any time that it's not the assigned seating, we will require sign up to come. Somebody will be sending out those times when we have the schedule. Where will children be? So I think we should reiterate that we're not allowing, we're only allowing children 11 and up, Sandy, I believe.
Correct. So, yeah, children under 11 can't attend because well, one, there just aren't enough seats. And two, if the children can't sit in their seat for the 2 or 2.5 hours of davening and wander around, I think it will cause a great deal of anxiety for others. And so we just decided 11 years old was the cutoff. And that would be the age that we thought children could sit in shul without having to wander around.
Any other questions? Oh, prior years, were there many guests on Rosh Hashana the same as this year?
You mean visitors to TRM?
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's what the question means.
yeah, there are some people who have adult children who are coming, but really not that many. It's a small handful of people that are not TRM members with guests.
Okay, any other questions? Right, let me just be clear, if it wasn't clear before, if people want their children under age 11 to hear shofar blowing, we are going to have something for them Sunday afternoon.
Well, for anybody who wants to hear
Right,
shofar.
anybody, children or adults, yes.
Children or adults who want to hear shofar and aren't attending the 7 or 10 a.m. minyan should come an hour and a half before mincha to TRM's parking lot.
Okay, someone wants to know which is the bathroom that will be open. Is it the one near the coat closet?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, how about, for homebound people? So if there's somebody who needs shofar blowing in their home, please send us an email at info@theriverdaleminyan.org, and we will be happy to arrange that. There is some planning, but I don't have definitive details yet, through the RCJP, Sandy, did I say that correctly? Through the Riverdale Community Project of the Y, to have shofar blowers that may circulate around Sunday afternoon, in front of certain buildings, so that people can go out on their porches, or outside of their building or in certain blocks to hear shofar. If there's somebody who needs someone to come to their home, again, just email info@theriverdaleminyan.org and we can arrange that.
Any other questions, folks?
All right, any other questions? Okay. Will attendees be required to complete any type of health screening form?
We have not asked people to do that, no. I mean, we have our requirements for minyan attendance as part of the sign up, but we're not sending out another form asking people to fill one out. But we have the requirements and we'll be sending out those requirements again. Anybody else?
Okay, hold on. Larry, did you have a question? No? Okay. Okay. I think that is it. There are no other questions here.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you everybody for joining us and look forward to seeing you in Shul next week. Shana Tova.